Hi guys, welcome to the Coyote Local Show, and today I'm going to go over what I'm doing in my garden here. So, let's get started. The first thing that grows in your garden, well in my garden, is radishes. They usually come up every year on their own, but some years I'll have to actually throw down some seeds just to get a little bit more in there because they won't always all come up on their own. But the first thing that always comes up in early spring are the radishes, and when they first come up, what they do is they pull nutrients from the sun and put it down into the soil. They're the only one of the few plants that do this. Carrots, radishes, and beets, most of the root vegetables, actually help condition the soil for the other plants that have to grow, such as tomatoes and so forth. So if you come over here, if you look down over here, some of the tomatoes, I've never planted these, but they're starting to come up on their own. And basically I would just go around and pull up the weeds and look for all the tomatoes to find where they're on and put a stick where the tomatoes are. Also the weeds, I let them grow a little bit in the season because I don't want to end up pulling up tomato plants because you don't know until everything starts getting big. But also the weeds will help pull some nutrients from the sun and put them into the soil. Basically you take up the weeds and you just grind them back up into the dirt, and so now you have more organic matter coming in to the soil. So, and then you get your radishes over here, and with radishes, which is great, is the great thing about radishes, you could eat the leaves too, and they're quite nutritious. As I explained in my video from last week, actually from a couple days ago, that eating radishes really helps your athletic performance. If you scroll back to the video, I'll put a little footnote on that. Click on that video, you'll learn a lot about radishes. So, this is what we got, and it's about time to pull them all up. And I'll leave a couple of radishes so they do make the seeds, so I'll get more radishes for next year. But you also could eat the little seed pods, and they taste they're very strong. They're a different kind of radish, kind of spicy taste, but they're great to put in salads or even if you're having rice with it. And eat your whole entire radish, greens and all. You get different nutrients from the greens, and you get different nutrients from the roots. And they're very cleansing for your blood. Get rid of lactic acid after you just ran. So, as you come over here, the grass clippings. I always take the grass clippings, and after, let's say if I pulled out a bunch of weeds here, I'll put grass clippings over that spot and around the tomato plants and around the radish plants, and mostly around the tomato plants and whatever kind of plants I'm growing, just so the weeds don't come back up in the midsummer. And that's a great organic, natural way to prevent weeds. And also bugs and stuff, they all like this organic matter, so the bugs and the worms condition the soil for your plants to grow. So the last thing to condition the soil for your plants to grow in the summer is I'm always adding compost, whether it's banana peels, watermelon peels, grape things, or whatever organic matter from eating fruit. All the extra peels would go into there, and you basically just bury them. The greatest part about eating a mostly fruit diet is you're always giving back 10% to the earth, and that's like a general rule that nature follows. So you eat, let's say, the watermelon, the bananas, you're always throwing back the peel, the parts that you generally don't eat, and that goes back into the soil. Therefore, you're giving back to the earth, which helps regenerate the earth, helps grow new plants, helps feed the insects, which helps the soil, and there you go. So, everything I put goes back in here. You just bury it. You know, throw the grass clippings on. Grass clippings help condition the soil, and you get amazing things. I'm starting to grow blueberries here. I got my fig tree over there. It's not exactly time for it to start blooming yet. They always come later. They're more of a warmer weather. It's still a little bit early, May have to do some pruning. It was a pretty cold winter, so sometimes parts of the fig trees they die, and you gotta cut off the dead ends. I got a nice rose bush growing here, and we got blackberries, and these are growing amazing. This is gonna be the best year for them. I also got blackberries and raspberries in the front, but we could save that for another time. So hope you enjoyed this video on organic gardening. Hope it helps you a lot. And please subscribe, and always, thanks for watching.
Jungle man, da 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 da, da 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 da, barefoot, da 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 da. I want to go up there, but I da 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 da.
He videotapes everything, dude.
Oh, itchy!